Have you ever wanted to be able to build a vision, but cannot think of anything? Vision building, imagination, seeing an end result is often talked about by highly successful people. People visualize succeeding at something and then seek to achieve it. In this video, we'll look at 3 mechanisms of vision building. How we should think of imagination, building up your imagination, turn having fun with imagination into life vision, how we should think of imagination. There are cultural moves to make the imagination seem powerless and fake. Expressions such as something being just your imagination, or it is your imagination, it is not real. There is an advantage for some of getting others to believe the imagination is nothing in particular, because the more people take hold of the power of their imagination, the increase of competition on things for those that already know it should be used and how to use it. Don't be someone who believes in the uselessness of the imagination. The imagination is like a powerful creative template. Our awareness of our creativity starts in the imagination. There are inventors that have literally visualized things and then created them, such as Nikola Tesla. There are athletes that see how something will happen in their mind and then live it out. We should think of our imagination as a tool for us to strengthen and feed well. If we have something that is the source of our creativity, then it can also be a place to enjoy the creative process. It is also a place where we can change how we see things in life, to picture different narratives in life. An example of this, let's say in your imagination you had a worst case scenario of falling over a step in a coffee shop with hot coffee in your hand as you meet a friend. If instead of that image you replaced it with walking over calmly to your friend, stepping up the step with a smile on your face in a state of being relaxed, enjoying the moment, then you already have lessened the likelihood for falling over because you've seen in your mind stepping up the step. You've also improved your emotional experience of the situation as well. Another application which can be linked to a practice you could get help in therapy with is with a past memory. Let's say you had a memory of a soccer game where you were the last person to be picked and so felt rejected in the moment. By using the imagination, we can put a different meaning on the event. So instead of rejection, you could see it as a moment that helped you get to be better at soccer, or maybe find something else you were good at. The idea is to change the interpretation on it to something more helpful. We can also use the lessons from it to build a better picture of the future we would like to attain. Another thing about the imagination is it is our window into the outside world. Whenever you look at things with your eyes, the image you see is being created in your mind. This means your imagination is always being filled with visual perception, assuming your body functions in a way that enables you to see. This makes the imagination very powerful and impacts our very interpretation of life, and therefore impacts what we choose to place our attention on. Building up your imagination. A good way to start building up the imagination is by taking visual things in nature, like trees, flowers, animals, etc., and start with something like a garden. What do you put in the garden? What do you change? What is it like when you change colours of things? Think about adding weather, furniture, etc. Practice changing things and adding things. Then try something which doesn't actually exist in this world, like an animal that can fly into space, swim in the deepest oceans, and speed across land like a fast car. At first, imagining things will be hard because our minds can be filled with things from the internet, things from gaming, etc. These things have a powerful impact. When I played a game that used tools, contains caves and has many blocks, I would find, as I start trying to imagine things, that most things start out as blocks after I've just been playing that game. So it can take time and practice. Music can be used to help your concentration. The purpose of doing things which are more realistic and things that are completely unrealistic is to build your ability to use your imagination for different things. What images you present to your mind will be the things that are easiest to imagine. Many people feed their minds with things that give them momentary enjoyment. Then it is over and it leaves emptiness and ultimately dissatisfaction. What you choose to feed your mind is important. The more you reinforce the same images in your mind, the stronger those images will appear when you try to think of something. The more they will appear when you are not trying to think of something but just doing something else. So start to build an image bank and then mental video bank of things like someone being kind to you, a walk in the woods on a warm day with a breeze, the happiness on someone's face when you tell them something good about them, Think of people treating you well. The point is to build things that will bring you longer term value over multiple different experiences in your life, instead of being limited to things which bring momentary enjoyment and then provide nothing of benefit for the remaining parts of your life outside of those moments. To reinforce the good images you are building, add believing they will happen in your life. Many people believe in worst case scenarios and experience it. Would you rather believe and experience best case scenarios? Even if it means the worst case scenario doesn't happen, but neither does the best case scenario either, it is still better than having a regular experience of the worst case scenario in your life. The other thing is, you don't want to train your mind to spot the bad, because that will have a bad mental impact. If you train yourself to spot the good, that will be more satisfying long term. Turn fun with the imagination into life vision. The best thing about building up your ability with your imagination is not only can you imagine things that are not possible in the world, you can imagine things that are. The fun of using your imagination will then make visualizing things that you want in life much easier, because you will have been building a memory bank of things that you like. So let's say you imagine driving a particular car, the roof off, and feeling the wind rushing past you as you drive along a road. So then you think you would like to own it, so you practice in your mind owning the car, you see the legal documentation with your name on it, the license plate, etc. So then as you continue to imagine it, your desire for it increases. Then you build your imagination on how to get there. Then you go research, adjust your imagination, and as you do this over many things in your life, you will end up building a life vision. Since you have spent time constructing it in your mind, you will then have increased your motivation towards attaining it. By having fun with things that are not in reality, but in your mind, you end up in a cross-section between what is real and what is not real, which is what could be created. What could be created is where the important things are. So the reference points of the real and the not real, that cross-section is what we want to get to. Therefore, it is worthwhile building up both so the fun of the imagination turns into creativity. Fun and therefore being inventive in the imagination. As I build up my imagination, thinking of things to create, you will get creative as you tap into your own creativity. Birds of a feather, we grow together.